This person, Shloka Bhuwalka, on 22nd of January, please listen, this person, because we did a webinar, or sorry, an on-location seminar called Bootcamp, GMAT Bootcamp. Listen to this story really. On 22nd of January, this girl did not know that a deferred MBA was a possibility. Now, we are talking about deferred in this case because she was a college student at that time. She came in the Delhi seminar, 22nd Jan, she did not know. And when did she write the exam? Look at this, 2 months and 6 days. March 28th, she wrote the exam. She scored a 770. How much time did she take? Exactly 50 days in the first attempt. Okay. And then it's not that, oh, she was just fine writing the exam. She has made it to Booth and Kellogg, both the schools. Now, some people don't even have an idea about, okay, what is Booth, what is Kellogg, and what ranking. This is considered the most reliable ranking of all MBAs in the world, called US News. This is US News ranking. What is the first business school for this year is Booth, you can see. The second business school is Kellogg. Then you have Wharton, then you have all the others. So if someone has made it to Booth and Kellogg, frankly, they've made it to 1 and 2. They will not want to go to Harvard, obviously. I will not want to go to Harvard or MIT or Wharton if I have already made it to that number 1 or number 2 schools. Hey, hi Shloka. Finally, you get to see each other one more time.
Yeah.
Right. So, how does it feel once you crack the number 1 school in the world as per US News? Well, you may believe or not, that's a separate one. But how are you relieved or not? Tell me.
Yeah.
Just take us through the
Definitely
journey.
very relieved. Yeah. So, yeah, as you said, it started pretty late for me. I thought of applying to these schools somewhere in the beginning of January, and I was looking through coaching institutes where I could
Right.
prepare for my GMAT, and I came across Top 1%. As you said, in somewhere mid-January, I attended the boot camp, and I was really impressed. I decided to take up the self-paced course, and within 50 days, I prepared for GMAT, and yeah, worked out with a 770. And then I had just, I think, around 20 days to apply to the deferred MBA programs. So I'd applied to all of the M7, and I secured admits from both as well as Kellogg. So it's a really good feeling.
Okay. We know you had some profile. You'll be joining a top workplace. What do you think worked out for you at these 2 places, and what do you think did not work out for you? Let's say, because if you applied to 7 schools, probably, so you'll be a really good person to tell us that at this place the interview wasn't, at this place your application wasn't, at this place you were late. What worked out at Booth and Kellogg? They're number 1 and number 2, and what probably did not work out? Let's hear.
So, as per my analysis, sir, I think all of these schools have certain differences in the requirements that they look for in their ideal
Right.
candidate, right? So, certain schools focus a lot more on academics, certain focus on an overall profile, right? An all-rounder kind of a thing. So, for me, I think I had a good academic background. So, with my
Mm-hmm.
CGPA, GMAT score, and the
Mm-hmm.
undergrad college, I think I had a good academic background, but perhaps I fell a bit short on the overall extracurriculars. I did not have any sports or something to show in my background. So I think that where I might have fallen short for maybe a Harvard or a Stanford. But I think, yeah, overall, I am satisfied. If yeah, that's what you're asking. I'm happy with the results that I
Right.
have.
A couple of things before, because we won't keep it very long. We just wanted
Yeah.
2 or 3 things that people must do or must not do with prep, and 2 or 3 things they must do or must not do with applications. Just take us through whatever comes to your mind, top of the head. We have not planned it.
Sure. Yeah. So I think for the GMAT prep, firstly, if I talk about that, one thing that you must do is, so for the GMAT, the thing is that it is not really a test of intelligence or your concepts. I mean, the concepts are very basic. These are the things that are taught in 10th class or 11th class, right? If I talk about maths and things like that. So the main idea over here is to practice as much as one can and practice the difficult level questions. So what I've seen is that there's a resistance to go ahead and practice the 700, 800 level questions because people feel that, they won't encounter such questions in the exam or they're too difficult to crack. But I think that's where the main, progress lies. That's where I saw the most amount of improvement for me at least. So
Right.
practicing the difficult questions is very necessary. And I think one thing that one must not do during the GMAT prep is give way too many mocks or read a lot of theory. I think I've seen people just go through the notes again and again and again and not sort of implement it during the in the questions. I think
Right.
that's not going to work. This is not a test of theory. Ultimately, you need to practice the questions. So I think
Right.
that's one thing to keep in mind for the GMAT prep. And for the applications, one thing that I truly believe one should not do is ask somebody else to write your essays. I think essays are something that's really personal to every individual, and it reflects in your essays that you have written it yourself or not. I mean, if somebody else writes it for you, I think it will be very clear that this person is not you. So I think even if you do take the help of somebody else, make sure that you are the one writing it, and the other person is just helping you modify it or make it better, enhance it. But
Right. Right.
the words should be yours completely. And I think for the essays, so that was one mistake I made. But for the applications, try to give yourself as much time as possible because you are going to need multiple iterations. So because I had a very short time period left, I used to just work on this 24/7. Like I could not do anything else. If you give yourself
Right.
enough time, I think it'll be a much smoother process then. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, Shloka. I will keep it short in that case. Thanks for your time, and you've been a
Yeah.
huge inspiration. My team members can't stop talking about you. I mean, something that's been so fantastic, and knowing your journey, knowing your story. One of my colleagues, Ranjika, very recently shared your story as well. Maybe you've shared with her earlier, but it is absolutely phenomenal. And imagine everyone, she is just a recent graduate. Okay, and a call from Booth and Kellogg, #1 and #2 schools. I don't know what gets bigger and better than this. So all the way best, and do keep in touch. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Bye bye.